For problem number 1, I have an equation. It says find a solution or solutions to the following equation. First thing I need to realize is that we have an equation. Now remember that the first thing that you want to do when we have an equation is to factor the denominator. Every time you have an equation, you want to see if you can factor the denominator. So I notice I can factor the 4x plus 20. I can factorize 4. So let's rewrite it. We have a negative 5 over, I'm going to factorize 4. And what do I have left? I have a x plus 5 equals. I have a negative 2 over x plus 5. I can't factor anything from here. And the 4, we're just going to leave it as 4. Now, before I start to solve it, I want to be able to find my restrictions. Remember that your restrictions will tell you for which values of x will make the denominator a 0. Because we cannot have a 0 in the denominator because that will make it undefined. I'm looking for the denominators that have an x. So in here on the first one we have a x plus 5. I'm looking for the factors. I'm not going to place that 4 equal to 0 because it does not have an x. But x plus 5, I know that x plus 5 cannot be 0. Move the 5 to the right becomes a negative 5. So x cannot be equal to negative 5. If x is equal to negative 5, this will become 0. And that will give you, and if you type in on your calculator, negative 5 divided by 0 will give you an error, or what we call in math undefined. Now on the next denominator I have a x plus 5, and we already took care of it here. X cannot be equal to negative 5. That will make the denominator a 0. And on the last one we don't have x, so we don't have to worry about this denominator. It will never be 0. Next thing that I need to do, I need to be able to find the LCD. Remember, whenever we have an equation, we want to be able to cancel the denominators. So we want to be able to get rid of the denominators. One way of doing this is by be able to multiply by the LCD. Let's see, I want to cancel this 4, so my LCD will have to have a 4. I want to cancel this x plus 5, so my LCD will have to have an x plus 5. I want to cancel this x plus 5, and that will cancel with this x plus 5. I want to cancel this denominator, which is a 4. That will cancel with the 4. Therefore, my LCD will be 4x plus 5. I'm going to multiply each fraction by 4x plus 5. I'm not going to multiply the numerator. 4x plus 5 and 4x plus 5. On the first one, they both cancel. The 4 cancels and the x plus 5 cancels. Therefore, I just have a negative 5. On the next one, the x plus 5 cancels. Therefore, I have a 4 times negative 2 will give me negative 8. Don't forget your equal sign. On the next one, only the 4 cancels. So I just have my x plus 3 multiplied by the x plus 5. Notice how I placed that x plus 3 in parentheses because you're going to have to multiply them both. We are going to FOIL this out, multiply it out using the distributive property twice. So I have the negative 5 is equal to negative 8 plus x times x gives me x squared plus 5x. 3 times x gives me 3x. 3 times 5 gives me positive 15. Now I'm going to combine like terms. I'm going to combine the 5x and the 3x. I'm also going to combine the negative 8 and the positive 15. I have negative 5 is equal to x squared, that gives me positive 8x. Negative 8 plus 15 gives me positive 7. Now that I simplified the right hand side, I notice I have a quadratic equation. Whenever you have a quadratic equation, you want to make it equal to 0. I'm going to bring my negative 5 to the right becomes a positive 5. I have a 0 is equal to x squared plus 8x plus 12. Now you want to factor this out. If you can't factor, you can complete the square because there's no coefficient and there's an even number here. Or you can use the quadratic formula. But let's see if we can factor this out first. Double parenthesis, factors of x squared will be x and x, factors of 12. I need to end up with an h, I'm going to use 6 and 2, and the both will be positive. Now, because it's equal to 0 and they're multiplying, I know that one or both have to be equal to 0, so whenever they multiply, there is going to give you 0. Therefore, I can use my zero product property. I'm going to use my x plus 6 equal to 0, x plus 2 equal to 0, move my 6 to the right, becomes say negative 6, or you can add, subtract 6 on both sides. Move my 2 to the right, becomes say negative 2. Now, does it conflict with my restrictions? X cannot be equal to negative 5. This is fine. X cannot equal to negative 2. Therefore, this is fine. Remember to do your restrictions and also to provide the LCD so that way I can just see if you actually understand it.